Welcome back for part 2 of building a mower barn out of materials that we already have. Today we're going to build a floor system and we're going to need some materials. So first let's head out to the Perkins Boneyard out at our dad's property.
I have a pile of red oak boards here. I've had these things, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, so they are air dried. I've got some 2x material. I'm going to use that for joists for the floor system. And then I've got the 1x material that I'll use for decking, like the floor. Now we have this pile of rough cut lumber, sawmill lumber. It's all different dimensions. You know, none of them are straight. And I'm trying to build something of uniform size and straight, right? So what do? A couple things. I'm going to utilize my track saw here. This is the aluminum track saw that I built. So basically, now we have to process all this material into its usable sizes before we can build anything. That's kind of a drag, but it's part of it. And this is what I had laying around. So that's what we're going to do. This is 6" by 6" angle iron, 3/8 thick. I got lucky enough that a relative of mine had it laying in a field under a bunch of briars and other crap for a very long time.
I'm glad I missed that part of the project.
So I'm very thankful for Sherman for having this for me. Now, attaching the wood beams to this.
Oh, let's save it. Let's save it. You gotta keep watching the video.
Oh, yeah. No, how do you attach a 2x6 to this? I'll tell you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Later. I'll tell you later.
I noticed you're using the old 7018 stick there.
I am, and it's not because I'm really good at it. I'll tell you, that's probably the last reason I would say. It's easier out here because I don't have to have my gas bottle and all that.
Like with MIG welding, you would?
Yeah, MIG welding, you got the gas bottle, you got the cart. It is easier, just pull the trigger, right? But you can see my little tiny baby welder right there. Yeah. It's light and portable. Also, I'm going to be using the same welder on the actual floor frame up in the air, like on a ladder.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
So I didn't want to try to get my cart down the hill with a gas bottle and all that, right? So this actually came with a shoulder strap. You can actually wear it. It did. Yeah. You can strap it on your shoulder. Whoa. You can climb up a ladder and just start welding. Now, I don't plan on doing that with a shoulder strap, but you could. So, yeah, it takes a little finesse to learn.
Stick welding is more mobile.
Yeah, I think it's probably the #1 most widely used type of welding in the world.
Does anyone else feel like we're building a bridge more than a lawnmower shed right now?
I don't know.
There's like steel posts and girders and oak
all I want to know
joists.
is what kind of lawnmower does he have?
That's what I'm
Is
thinking.
it like a, like a?
What if he's thinking about the Kubota?
He's gonna
Enough
get
to buy a
it.
Kubota. That's what he's doing. You just don't know about it.
Yeah. He's
putting
like,
the-
this
How
12,000
tall-
pounds, will it hold it?
How tall is this thing going?
Yeah.
Might be
Yeah.
right
He's
about
putting the
that.
cart
Jamie's
before the
wanted to
horse.
buy a Kubota Traco to the point where I wouldn't give him the company card.
He would have bought it.
He would have, shit, I'll take 2, please, without even asking me.
I saw a sign on the way to Franklin that says 0 down, 0% APR
Is that the same
On a
as-
Traco.
on a track.
That's dangerous.
Is that the same as like a free Kubota?
I don't know, but
That's what Jamie thinks.
don't
They still cost money. You still have to pay for them.
don't send Jamie to Franklin though. He'll see.
Roger that.
Okay, yeah. Don't let him go.
Here's a look at one end of our finished floor joists, which are oak 2x6, like you'd find in a house from 1940.
Yep. True 6"
What can you tell me about them?
They're solid wood, baby.
They're heavy. They're free because that was sitting at our lot for years.
And these aren't nominal size. These are true 2x6.
Yeah.
They're not any 5.5 by 1.5.
I didn't think I'd see the day where oak
Yeah.
floor joists were cheaper than just going to the store and buying a floor joist. But
yeah,
today
no
is that
kidding.
day.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've got our sections of girder made now, and how do they stack up compared to the code book in the area? Because remember, this is not being inspected. It's just us figuring what we think's good. I think they're really strong, but we don't really know. My guess is that they'd probably be something to the equivalent of like a double 12-inch LVL, maybe, something like that.
I would agree.
So, again, no inspection, but that's what we thought was good. Jamie's got a hole marked, and that's for our anchor bolt coming out of the footing.
Yeah. I gotta say, I have never used a cutting torch. This is my first time, and I borrowed one right here from my stepdad. Thank you, Bob. And he's contributed. See, the contributors. Sherman contributed the steel. Thank you, Sherman, again. Bob with the cutting torch. Here
They're
we go.
all going to want to sit in your mower garage
Hey,
with
they
you.
can all come hang out. It'll be a good time. Sharpen some saws.
It's the Kubota and the cement mixer shit.
Who was beating these down with a hammer? Yeah, the joke about me limping?
Oh.
Wasn't a joke.
Oh, you really pulled your hamstring.
100%.
Well, he just pulled a hammy again.
Nice.
It is like a freaking slip and slide down the... Yeah. All right, Bub, you ready for this mud this time?
Yeah.
No, you got it wrong.
Oh.
So that needs to go down the hill.
Which way are we going?
That go-
If it's out of brick, they don't like that either. I thought they would. And finally, we built something out of steel and it's a freaking shed.
yeah, it's gonna hold the
So-
lawnmower.
I feel good about it though. Arlo was just saying we would have had this thing built if all this was wood instead of steel at this point. Probably.
What fun would that be, though?
No, this is cooler. No, I'm with you. But just, you know, just something to note. This is taking forever. And it's a lot of work.
Yeah, they don't.
Just remember this is free steel and free wood. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
which-
he actually paid for the wood, so it's not.
Well,
really
at some
free.
point we did.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah, but
And you know
probably a
what? I
really
paid for half of it.
Probably a really good price.
So I'm going to park my freaking bike or something here.
And Rand, he's the one telling them that he's getting free labor, too.
I know. My dad was like, yeah, and you got all this free help. I was
Yeah.
like, well, I don't think so.
I mean, I like Jamie, but I don't like him that much.
Me neither.
Vendors is disconnected.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you're.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, you're like.
I remember my first time wearing a tool belt. This episode is brought to you by Monk Pack, and they make granola, nut, and seed bars, and they're the best tasting granola bars I've ever eaten. I've tried all their flavors, and on top of that, Monk Pack offers low sugar, keto-friendly bars, which are plant-based, gluten-free, and non-GMO. You know, I thought about doing this whole thing while I was eating the Monk Pack bar, but I thought it'd be kind of gross. I'm not going to do it. They're the perfect snack for anyone who's trying to cut back on sugar and on carbs without sacrificing taste at all. If you're in your 20s, it may not matter as much, but I'm 40, and if I don't snack healthy, I have to bike like 100 miles every week instead of just 50 to keep from gaining weight. My favorite flavor is peanut butter and dark chocolate, and that's why it's just an empty wrapper here. Get 20% off your first purchase of any Monk Pack product by visiting monkpack.com and entering our code Perkins at checkout, or just simply click on the link in the description below to get 20% off. Monk Pack is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee, so if you don't like it for any reason, they'll exchange the product or refund your money, whichever you prefer. Thanks again to Monk Pack for sponsoring this episode, and let's get back to work. Nice to see a piece of wood, huh?
Yeah. It's so light. Booyah.
That ought to do it.
Yeah. What's wrong?
Jason
called
made one
chauffeur.
other fancy cut here. What's that all about?
Yeah, we call it the chauffeur cut, just to make sure that because that weld's in there,
Yep.
if it was 90, it'd still would hit that and be
And that's
proud.
the chauffeur.
Isn't that what it's called? Yeah. Yeah, the chauffeur cut.
Chamfer?
Chamfer. Yeah, chamfer cut. Yeah, that's what that is. That way it sits in there. We can get all the
I
way
can't
tight.
even see you because that hat, Brim. There you are.
There we go. The chauffeur cut.
This is like an incredible joist hanger itself.
Yeah, this is pretty. I almost wish Jamie was going to put like a plexiglass floor in this or something. You know, it's pretty cool looking with the oak and the steel and the bolts.
But the only question is, should we have notched 3/8 out of those so they hit level with this, you know? Now he's going to have that little...
Shut your dirty mouth, Carlo.
I think his mowers are gonna be like, wow, this isn't nearly nice enough for me already.
They're not going to
So
want to
did
go
you-
in. They're going
did
to go in
you-
reverse.
Did you hang on that? Is there any
let's
bounce
check
at
it out
all?
here. Let's check it out. So Jamie's finishing out the metal frame with 3/8 steel, or that's quarter?
That's quarter.
That's quarter steel
Right, wow.
across the front, and it looks like we're gonna bolt a floor joist to it.
Something like that.
So
Although
just-
I don't want a bolt head sticking out really, so we're gonna figure
Here,
that
let's
out.
push the bottom in. Hold on a second, maybe.
We're to the point of having the floor framing done. I gotta say, this was a lot of work, and this method of construction is very strong yet very labor intensive, especially all the steel parts, and the welding and drilling and heavy lifting. Also, we had to rip, all these 2x6s of oak down. That took some time, but in the end, I gotta say, it's super strong. I love the way it looks, and I'm happy with it. Also, normally we would put diagonal braces to stiffen this edge from being able to rack like this. But given that it's all welded together, I think it just has enough strength and rigidity built in with the welds that it doesn't need any. Like if I could push it and it moved this way, I would be worried about it, but I can't. I think as hard as I could push it, it is not gonna move. So that's one benefit of this type of construction.
You think Jason knows he needs an airline on that thing yet?
This battery, where's the battery go?
Air.
What are we doing with air?
I don't know. Just roll with it.
Because we're at Jamie's house, that's why. Give me this thing. Fucking
I
air.
thought he was convinced
Dano!
that the pass load would do it.
What's up?
I got the pass load.
You got it?
Yeah, I got one.
Well, Jamie's leaving in a minute, so.
I don't think we got. Where are you going?
I want to get boards. More
Me and him
material.
gotta go.
It's still early, and I'm glad everybody's here. But while y'all were out drinking coffee somewhere, I was sitting here welding all the outside corners of this metal frame.
Glad I waited.
And even though the sun wasn't even out, I was in the welding shirt, the mask, the giant gloves. I was sweating like a fool out here.
It was your idea to.
It was my idea.
So it
No, I
sounds
take
totally self-inflicted.
I take all the credit. I mean, blame. No, it's all good. So, hey, let's get y'all started on something so I can go gather some more material.
Okay.
Okay? And we're going to see what the material gives us.
Yeah. So if you've missed the previous videos, we've done the foundation, we've done the floor framing, and now we're on to the floor decking out of stuff that we had already.
Yeah, and I think the decking part is actually going to be the easiest part of this entire build. It's good. It's good. Shoot it!
Oh man, that's gonna. What you got that turned on? Is that like 100?
I should go check the pressure.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
give a
oak
little
to oak.
rundown about what. Yeah. Ooh. Take a few shots.
So what was that? 110?
No, it's still around 100, but I was waiting. I turned it a lot.
Oh gosh.
No, just beat him in. Beat him in.
Jamie was just saying he thought that the nailing of this decking would be the easiest part of
The
this.
easiest part of the whole build.
And we
right
can't
here.
get a nail to go even that's
I mean-
that's a good halfway in. But hit those with a hammer. I want to see what they do. Clinch, clinching.
Nailed it.
There's no chance. Maybe get that one. Yeah.
One. We could hand drive him.
I think that the moral of this whole build is going to be, it's cheaper to buy materials than to use what you have and have a lot more labor. Huh. Wow. What is going on right now? What?
The gun that messes up the most on us is the one that actually
We're going to get the pass load too. Hey, this will be a great nail gun testing segment. Air versus battery versus the, propane or whatever it is on the pass load. Oh. It may be a depth adjustment.
Oh yeah.
We go full deep, full depth.
What the heck?
That must be a hard board.
Let me see the D-wall.
Oh, man.
Dude, that is nuts. Dude, I don't know.
Maybe it's the operator.
We're always answering questions about what we think of these cordless nailers, and today we're getting a little more insight here
We're
into
getting sort of a mixed bag of results here.
So the air nailer, on this unless I crank the pressure up to 200. Try that. The DeWalt somehow
Don't do
is
that, by the
just
way.
is driving the nails all the way. The DeWalt's doing it.
I know.
What about the pass lid?
Not really.
Not doing it. I have a little theory though, because these work totally differently. This has a little tiny battery. Oh, my hand got snagged. This has a little tiny battery and a fuel cell. So it makes an explosion. Like the engine in your car uses gasoline to explode and drive the piston.
Bill Nye, science guy.
All right, well, that's what this does. This has a little piston in here, and boom, explosion, and it moves, and it drives the nail. That one has some sort of rotary, like, what do you call it?
Kinetic energy.
It has a, yeah.
Potential energy.
Like on a
flywheel.
There it is. Okay.
Big as a bread box.
Think about this. All right, have you seen those wood splitters? The Oregon brand makes a wood splitter that has a giant flywheel. A flywheel. Is that what you said?
Yeah, flywheel.
Okay, flywheel.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
The Oregon wood
no.
splitter?
I said.
I don't know what it's called. Okay. All right, look it up. Whatever. Oregon wood splitter. It's got this giant rotating wheel that spins really fast, and then when you press the lever, all the stored up energy, its potential energy, gets converted to kinetic energy, and boom, it splits your wood fast.
Okay.
It's got a miniature one of those inside.
So the weight of the kinetic energy, I think, is doing better than explosion or air.
That's what I'm
That's
trying to say.
why I should have done this segment.
That's what I'm trying to
He
say.
talked more about that Oregon wood splitter than he did about
But
the
he doesn't even know if that's what it's called. It might be in Oregon. You don't even know.
I think it is.
We might have to go one more button on your shirt there,
Oh,
Hasselhoff.
Sorry, I was trying to cool off, man. It was hot. Sorry about
All
that.
right.
Hey, his neighbor called. Told you to go F yourself.
Yeah, but that is pretty loud. I hear it echoing. Whap, 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 whap.
Dude, it's
Hello, hello, hello.
people up at Tater Knob are like, what is that noise?
How's it going over there? That's what I thought. Oh, he's switching up.
Oh, it went in.
You can see that is not happening. We're gonna try the side pull and see if that is happening. I've already rounded off the head that way. Let me try this way. Are they gonna snap my hammer? Oh, no, it worked. That was easy.
Never
so
easy.
easy.
Never.
So that side pull is pretty powerful compared to the regular. You checked out Ray's double danglers?
Yeah, I've seen that move somewhere before. I'm trying to picture where it was from. Oh, now I know.
Whoa! Don't worry, I had it by that one. In keeping with the theme of not buying any wood for this project, it's very cool, I think, that all of this wood came from trees here at my house and at my friend's house only 1 mile from here.
Cool.
So all that wood is used right here. Boom, it's gonna serve me on this property. And
Were those trees like where your house was or just off the side?
No,
of the
they were
property?
actually dead trees on the edge of the property. The branches were falling out. And I called actually, they were my neighbor's trees to be. No, he said I could cut them. This giant dead branch is falling in my driveway, and I have young kids riding around here and they're on their bicycles and stuff. So I called him and said, hey, these trees are dead. Can I cut them? He said, cut them. So I hired a guy to cut them.
That's what you told the guy that cut him anyway.
Yeah. So that's how I got all this wood. It was actually here, and it was a hazard. It was a danger. So we cut it down.
That's a good story.
Yeah.